Welcome again to the Graced and Graced. In one video, we talked about substance addiction. I mentioned that we have two categories of addiction, that's substance addiction and process addiction. And we talked a little bit more about substance addiction. Today, we focus on process addiction. Process addiction involves using less obvious methods to try to handle emotional pain. Less obvious methods to handle emotional pain. These compulsive behaviors are related to process instead of a substance use like drugs or alcohol. Instead of ingesting, this is just a process of doing something. It is a repetitive behavior that eventually controls those who thought that they can control their own behaviors. There are several examples we can cite that are process addiction. One gets into an activity and gets hooked into that particular activity. Instead of ingesting something, this person gets involved in something that he or she cannot control. For example, we talk about gambling, or other people prefer to call it compulsive spending, or compulsively spending money. Will be a way we try to deal with maybe other problems that we have. That somebody finds gambling a way of releasing some emotional pain, some tension, some anxiety. And somebody gets hooked into gambling and cannot control the behavior, cannot control this compulsive spending. It could be online shopping. People have caught themselves endlessly shopping for things they don't even need, and sometimes they find themselves throwing those things away or being of no use in any way. But compulsively they want to spend and they cannot control the behavior. That is a process addiction. One has been hooked into gambling and cannot control that behavior. And some people may find themselves always short of money, or are drawn to excitement of gambling with its random rewards. Oh, I may get this one, I may get that one, I may get this one. These random rewards, they find themselves excited to continue, and they cannot control that behavior. Even when they promise themselves that I'm not going to do it anymore, they find themselves going back to it because the behavior has taken over. This person has been addicted into the process. Even video games may become an escape for some people from a painful reality. So people may also need to check out their video game behavior, their gaming attractions, and make a decision not to try to play some of the video games. Or somebody may check on themselves and say, no, I have been gambling so much. Let me check on my online gambling. Let me check on my spending. Where do I spend my money? Do I need those things that I find myself purchasing or buying? Do I need them? Is it a need or just a want to fulfill some excitement, some happiness, some joy? Is it necessary for me to buy such? Sometimes we find ourselves, because we are members of maybe Amazon and something is being advertised and we thought, oh, I can buy that one, I can buy that one. At the end of the day, you find yourself having things you don't even need and you find yourself going to buy. And some people, when they are under stress or they are having issues, they say, oh, I'm depressed, let's go shopping. Shopping is not going to help that depression. Oh, I have this issue, let me play a game. We have to check out our online shopping, gambling online, our video games, and all those kind of things which can hook us into process addiction. Sometimes you have to promise yourself to stop for at least 30 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 20, 25, 26, 29, 30. Just 30 days. Stop yourself for those days and see how uncomfortable you become, or how uncomfortable it is for you to be away from what you have loved to do, from what you have loved to be engaged in. Just see how uncomfortable you are. Each of these activities can become a process addiction. Process addiction involving eating also is another issue, can be a big problem. Eating is one of the things that we think we can always control. But there are 3 ways eating can be a problem. 3 ways eating can be a problem. One problem with eating is overeating. Eating unnecessarily. Eating for no reason. Why are you eating what you are eating? What benefit is it for your body and for your health? It happens when people look at food as a source of comfort. I'm stressed, I need a cookie. You don't need that cookie. You need to deal with the problem. You don't need that cookie. Oh, I'm stressed, I need a cookie. No, you don't need a cookie. You need to deal with the problem. When we look at food as a source of comfort, when we are uncomfortable, we find comfort in eating. That becomes a problem. Then it becomes an addiction. Or when they are in emotional pain, they turn to food in order to feel the good again, or to feel good again, as it were. Another problem with eating involves binge eating, BINGE. And then they are having to purge what they have eaten. Eating large amounts of food in one sitting and with no reason, and it's useless, not good for the body. And then there is a serious problem with eating. Those who avoid eating, not eating. So there is overeating, there is eating unnecessarily, and there is not eating enough. How much food do you eat? Do you eat enough? Are you depriving yourself of food? And that can become a problem for many. It becomes an addiction. They avoid food. They are not eating enough. And some avoid eating food because they think they are fat, or they are gifted with body size. So they avoid eating. Some people may control their eating habits, and chronically they lose weight. And sometimes it leads to life-threatening physical problems. Such are the first ones I would like to talk about: process addiction. And we may stop at this point where food can be a process addiction. And therefore, let us look at what activities we get involved in. Are we getting hooked into these activities? And these activities or these things may become process addiction. So we have to check on that. We shall continue with this process addiction in the next video and see more of the things that can become harmful and addictive to us. May God bless you and embrace you.